Hi, everyone. Welcome to the scariest short attention span webinar we've ever done. How's that, Kelly?
I was going to try to come up with a blood-curdling, like, piercing scream, but I don't have it in me today. Sorry.
And thank you very much on behalf of everyone listening. Yes.
You're very welcome.
Overcoming your fear of selling. You know, this is no small item, and it's certainly nothing to, we're not mocking you if you're afraid. There are a lot of people who have a fear of selling. And, of course, you know, the problem, when you're brand new to sales, it's one of those things where you say, you know, the good news is I got the job. The bad news is I got the job. Oh, my goodness, I've got to go ask people for money. Very intimidating. I can vividly remember. In fact, my biggest motivator when I first started in sales was fear. You know, I was terrified of having to go back home a failure. You know, I had signed a lease on a $230 a month for my first apartment in Worcester, Massachusetts.
You're dating yourself again, Bill.
I know. Is that awful? Selling owners who've never had to sell before will call me and they'll say, Bill, you know, the people are not coming in. I don't know who to call on. I don't know what to say. And probably one of the saddest calls I get is the one from the veteran salesperson who says, I'm a 25, 30-year guy, and I just lost a big account which represents 60% of my business. And of course, they have not been prospecting, and you know, for whatever reason, some of it's legit, most of it is not, and they're really in trouble. So let's talk about the cure. How do we help the newbie, Kelly?
Well, you know, these are all very, very important. Setting your expectations, and I think that's the good expectations and the bad expectations. To understand that you're going to stumble over your words a little bit at some point, that it's going to feel uncomfortable. But you know, I was going to cut this one really short and say that the answer for all three of those categories is just to remember that you are a person having a conversation with another person. That is the simplest. To me, the simplest way to address all of this, which is it can be scary, but just remember the person on the other end of that call is just a person, and you have questions to ask them, and you have a specific goal in mind. So writing that script is very, very important. I've got a woman that I'm coaching right now that's in her late 40s, and she's been selling for a long time, but she's in a new industry now. So we really are giving her those kind of short, snappy, you know, attention-catching phrases to use, and she, as you say right here, practice on a friendly voice. She practices with the owner. She practices with me. And really, I think this last one is so important with a newbie, is to realize that really all you want to do is get them talking. So, you know, to use a phrase like, I've got a couple of questions to ask you right now. Can you spend a couple of minutes talking with me? Who's going to say, no, I don't have 2 minutes to talk to you? You know, people are still people, and they do still generally in their nature want to be helpful and have that kind of, you know, back and forth conversation. So when you're lucky enough to, you know, to get someone on the phone, engage them in, you know, make it worth their while, but go ahead and engage them.
You know, some of the best advice that I was given when I was just starting out in sales was, don't take it seriously. And I remember looking at the guy like, what? So just don't take it seriously. Have fun with it. It's a game.
Yeah.
Don't take it seriously. And I said, so what you're saying is that it's okay for me to let my personality out and be a wise guy. He said, sure. Aim to make friends, not appointments. And I thought, wow.
That is so good. It really is.
Isn't that cool?
Because everybody's... Well, and you know, the new people, if you actually ask them to write a script and then you read it, I say, where are you in there? You know, where's your personality? Where's your style? You have to let your style and your personality out. And I would give this woman a couple of examples of things I would say. And I say, now, look, you may not feel comfortable saying it exactly that way, so make it yours. Make it what the words that would come out of your mouth that you feel good about. And she has, you know, even in just a few short weeks, has had some tremendous results, because it's like, let your shoulders down, relax a little bit, smile. You know, all those super cliche things we say are so true. It is fun, folks. You get to talk to people all day long. You don't have to pick up a hammer and swing it all day long. You don't have to drive a bus. You get to talk to people all day long. It's your job. That's fun.
The other thing that I would say, and this goes for all three of the groups, is don't take it personally. You know, people think, oh my God, they rejected me all day. No, you know what? They're busy. If they slam the phone down, it's not you. No, they don't even know you. How can they? You don't know them well enough for them to offend you.
Yep.
You know, so as far as the selling owners and veteran salespeople, you know, I would start. There's a fear factor. I would start with customers, and I would live there until I get my feet under me. You know, start by calling existing accounts and just checking in. Have something in mind. Ask about their business. Remember to do more listening than talking. Ask them, how's business? How are things going? What are your plans for 2012? You know, the more listening you do and the less talking that you do, the more you will learn and the easier it will be for you. People love talking about themselves. Let them. If you're going to branch out, it's very important that you understand your target market. Now, this goes a long way. We do a whole webinar on this. The target market means where's your company fit, but where do you fit too? What kinds of people are attracted your way? It's very important to know that. Having something of value to say is critical. You can't just call up and say, hey, how's it going? You know, you've got to give them a reason, do a little research. But especially when you're out going after that new business, there's got to be something that follows the sentence that starts, the purpose of my call is, that gives them a reason to want to continue the conversation, extend the conversation. So, you know, set that goal. How many calls are you going to make on a daily basis? When you reach the goal, you will feel a reward. You'll feel something go, yes, you know, I can't explain it. It's a little bitty blip on the radar, but it's a blip. But once you do that, get up the next day and do it. I don't care if it's one call a day. Do it. Start there. Make it reasonable and make it achievable, because you want to have that little rush, that little sensation of success. Kelly, any final thoughts?
Yeah, you know, I did want to add a couple of things about the owners and the veteran salespeople. I get the sense from the people I've been working with lately that it isn't fear so much as it is they don't want to. Honestly, I can't tell you how many owners I've talked to lately that I talk about, you know, everything you just said here. And the truth of it is they feel like they don't want to do it, not that they can't, or they do, you know, they may have some confidence issues too. But I say, well, how do we have to frame this in order for you to feel like you do want to do it? You know, necessity is obviously a big one. But understanding, I think focusing on the target market is very, very important in this instance, that it's okay if you focus on just one vertical market that you're really strong in and that you know everything about, and you focus, and maybe it's healthcare. It's okay to only call on healthcare companies for the next 6 months because you'll be comfortable there. You'll know the language. You know, because this really is about comfort. It's about being comfortable, especially for owners. And again, veteran salespeople, they haven't done it in a while. This is about getting back on the horse, and once you do it a couple of times, you'll remember what it was like, and you'll start to enjoy it again. There's no question.
Success breeds success. All right, great. Thanks, Kelly. Great job. Thanks for listening to this short attention span webinar, everyone.
Thanks, Bill.